World Poker Tour.
The World Poker Tour is a series of international poker tournaments featuring the biggest games, the greatest players, and the largest payouts on the planet. In the Sea of Cortez, 6 players battle over $7 million. It's a titanic payout in the Pacific Ocean tonight on the World Poker Tour.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the one and only World Poker Tour. I'm Mike Sexton along with Vince Van Patten, and we're aboard the MS Amsterdam, cruising our way to Mexico for the largest WPT regular season tournament ever.
And Mike, we have hit a huge milestone on the World Poker Tour. We're right in the middle of the 3rd season, and with this tournament, we have hit the $100 million mark. I mean, what has happened? Poker players are living the life of the rich and famous. You know, it is champagne wishes and caviar dreams without that very loud English guy.
Last year, Eric Lindgren won $1 million in this event and went on to become the WPT Player of the Year. This time, 2 players will take home $1 million or more, but only one will capture a WPT title and get that $25,000 entry into the World Poker Tour Championship.
Who is going to become the 21st and 22nd millionaire on the World Poker Tour? Let's go find out.
Let's do it.
In seat number 1 is a computer science major out of the University of Minnesota. Adam Chelani, this 23-year-old, is starting out the night on the short stack.
In seat 6, we have another young gun, a 24-year-old professional player from Raleigh, North Carolina, Michael Grotz. But if he wins some pots early tonight, believe me, he'll be a force.
All right, next is a very familiar face on the World Poker Tour, Mr. Paul Darden Jr. Now, no one at this table has near the big-time poker experience of Paul, who's looking to parlay his $900,000 in chips into his 2nd World Poker Tour title.
In seat 2, Matthew Cherical. Matthew's a molecular biology major, Vince. That's pre-med to guys like us.
Oh, yeah.
He's only been playing poker for a little less than a year, but he's shown that he's definitely a quick study.
Over to seat number 5 from San Francisco is 33-year-old Richard Kane. He's nicknamed himself Hurricane Kane, and we'll see what the Hurricane can do with his $1.5 million.
And our chip leader tonight from Alamogordo, New Mexico, is retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel David Minto. This Top Gun is looking to land a WPT title and the $1.5 million that goes with it tonight. Let's see if he can do it.
We're now ready to shuffle up and deal.
Well, here we go. The biggest party in poker about to get underway. And Vince, this is the largest event in the history of the World Poker Tour.
Let's talk about the game they're going to be playing. Tonight, the blinds are going to start at $20,000 and $30,000, but we are playing limit poker. You can bet $30 for the first 2 rounds of betting and then $60 for the final 2 rounds of betting. And you have to bet that. You can't bet less, you can't bet more.
Well, Vince, limit hold'em means action.
Here we go. Michael Grotz first to act, throws away King 4. Adam Chelani quickly going out with 8-6. And now Matthew throwing away his 7-4. The Colonel throws away 7-5 fast, and now it's on Paul Darden. He's got ace-9 in his hand.
Paul, a former WPT champion, raises it, makes it $60,000.
And he's got to beat out Richard Kane, but he has Jack-9, and he's going to call it.
So it's ace-9 for Paul, Jack-9 for Richard. Here comes the flop. The flop is 10-5 deuce, no help to either player.
No, but Paul's going to bet it, $30,000.
And look at this. Richard's going to raise him, Vince, with nothing.
PR guy from California bumping it.
And Paul quickly calling with the ace-high.
Here comes the turn.
A lot of action here on hand 1. Well, the 8 of clubs comes off, giving Richard an open-end straight draw.
Does not help Paul, and he's going to check it.
Without hesitation, Richard fires $60,000 into the pot.
He's betting on the come, but Paul, he's going to play.
Again, Paul calls him down with the ace-high. Off to the river we go. Well, the board pairs 10s. Paul's going to check.
Richard's going to try to bluff one more time.
He bet $60,000.
Will it work? No.
Well, quickly, Paul Darden calls him down with the ace-high.
Very first pot taken by Paul.
That is playing some poker. To call your opponent with ace-high right there. Richard trying to make a move. Bluffing him, but give him credit, Vince. He fired 3 shells, yet Paul Darden still called him down to pick up that pot.
Nice hand, Paul.
He's been in the rap business for many years. He's also a World Poker Tour champion. With that play, you can see why.
What an environment we're in tonight, Vince. We're in a packed showroom here on the ship.
And we've been having a good time. Action's going to be on Richard Kane once again. This time he looks down at a suited connector, 9-10 of diamonds.
Well, the Jack-9 didn't work for him last time. Let's see if the 10-9 does this time. He's going to raise it.
Michael Grotz with ace-7 goes away.
Adam picking up 2 queens here. And he just calls, Vince. Doesn't 3-bet it here.
Matthew going out. The Colonel looks down at king-3. He's gone out as well.
Paul Darden in the big blind with Jack-9. Only 30,000 more to call. And he's going to do it.
He's going to speculate. So 3-way action. A little surprised that Adam didn't 3-bet that, but
Decided to jump in and take part.
Well, he's in great shape right now. He's got 2 queens.
Figure to take it down.
That's what I like to hear.
Here comes a flop. King 9-7.
well, Paul has hit his pair of 9s right there.
And he leads out and bets it.
Richard Kane with the 9s with a 10 kicker. He's going up with a raise.
Makes it 60,000 to go, and Adam lays down the 2 queens.
He's afraid someone has a king.
And Paul calls.
So the turn card coming up. Interesting.
Oh, a great card for Paul Darden. He's made 2 pair here. He checks.
He's going to play it sneaky.
Notice that Richard with a 2-way straight draw now.
And a pair of 9s.
Right.
He bets out, and Paul raises it. The check raise here. Makes it 120,000 to go.
Trap play by Paul Darden.
Call.
And he gets the call he wants.
Well, he gets the call because now Richard has a 2-way straight draw. An 8 or a queen would make him a straight to go along with his pair of 9s.
River card coming up.
Well, the 6 of spade comes off. It's no help to Richard. Action is on Paul. Well, he's going to bet the 60,000 with 2 pair.
That's the standard bet.
And he's going to win this pot.
But I can't believe this right now is Adam folding the pair queens.
Well, Vince, I'll tell you the mistake he made. He didn't 3-bet it right away with the 2 queens. He would have taken the lead in this pot and most likely won it.
Now, in limit poker, when you have those big wire pairs, don't play them sneaky before the flop. Bump it up hard. Make them pay for it.
You're exactly right, Vince. By slow playing it there, he cost himself that pot. To the good fortune of Paul Darden, off to a great start tonight.
I almost vanished. I've been waiting for a long time to get back here. I came on this tournament to win it.
Paul Darden is all in and is doubled up. Paul Darden wins the pot. Paul Darden doubled up one more time.
I weathered the storm. Now I am going to be the storm.
Now, if Paul Darden wins this event, he will be the 5th player to ever win more than one final table on the World Poker Tour.
Yeah, he'll be joining Gus Hansen, Howard Lederer, Daniel Negreanu, and Eric Lindgren as multiple event winners on the WPT.
All right, back to the action on the Colonel. Let's take a look at the WPT Hole Cam, sponsored by Michelob Amber Bock.
Another beauty there.
Throws away 9 deuce.
Paul looks down at the 5 deuce and folds.
And now it's on Richard Kane.
Well, he's raised every pot so far, Vince. He's consistent. Does it again with Queen 8 of clubs.
Yes, he does. And right next to him, Michael Grotz with ace-jack and the button in front of him. Look at this. He's going to 3-bet it.
Well, he 3-bets it. That shows me that he's a player, Vince.
Adam going out.
Trying to take the lead in the pot.
Matthew out.
And shut out his other opponents.
Back to Richard. He's made the call, though.
Unlike Adam from the previous pot.
And now it's heads up between Richard Kane and Michael Grotz.
Here comes a flop. The flop is King, Queen 3. Richard flopped 2 queens.
That's
he
right.
checks.
He's going to check it.
Michael has the ace-high straight draw, and he checks. Trying to get the free card off here. See if it helps him. Well, it's a jack. That gives him a pair of jacks. But Richard in front with the 2 queens. Richard bets out this time.
Now it's on Michael, who got a piece of that, but that can get him into trouble. He's making the call. He needs a lot of luck on the river. Richard finally looking good to win his first pot. Let's see the river card.
And it's a 3rd jack for Michael.
That is a horrendous card.
Richard checks it. Michael quickly bets 60,000.
And Richard's going to pay it off. Oh, let's look at this look. Oh,
Well, very good fortune for Michael Grotz on that hand, hitting running jack-jack to win it.
that is so ugly for Richard Kane. He's saying, look, I couldn't push Paul around. I'm getting rivered out here. What do I have to do to win a pot?
His nickname is Hurricane Kane, but right now he's got to feel like he's in a storm. Nothing going his way.
Well, we are watching Power Poker on the high seas.
It's the America's Cup of Poker, and everyone is full sail, racing to the finish. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
The World Poker Tour has paid out over $100 million since the WPT set sail in Season 1. See who's cashing in next when we come back.
In limit poker, bluffing isn't nearly as big a portion of one's play as it is in no-limit poker. However, bluffing does become an option. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. Last week, we were at the Bay 101, where we paid out $4 million. This week, we're on the ocean, where we're paying out over $7 million more.
It is amazing. I think this poker thing is really catching on.
I would say.
Action back on Matthew. He quickly folds his hand. Now into the Colonel. David Minto finally coming into a pot. He's going to raise this with ace-jack. Paul out. Of course, Richard Kane has got a call. He's called everything so far. He has 9-10 of clubs. Michael quickly out. Now it's around to Adam.
Oh, he's got a nice hand. 2 jacks in the big blind. He just calls 30,000 more.
Now we saw him do that earlier with the queens. It backfired.
Deuce.
So here we go. 3-way action. 200,000 in the pot. And flop is queen 4-4 with 2 diamonds.
It does not help the Colonel.
Close.
10 hook. He's going to bet it anyway.
Well, Adam checks. The Colonel quickly bets.
Pretty close.
Richard's thinking, what is happening here? I just can't connect on the flop.
He goes out. Back on the Wonder Kid, Adam, with the jacks out in front. He's going to call it.
Well, the deuces, I can still make 2 deuces.
Here comes the turn card.
Don't put any deuces out there.
Deuce.
Well, the 7 of clubs comes off. Adam checks.
And the Colonel's relentless. He's going to bet it again. 60,000.
Adam's going to call him with the 2 jacks, though.
He's going to be stubborn. Can't blame him.
So the 2 jacks, the best hand here. Well, here comes the river card.
Listen to him.
And it's a king. Adam won't like that card.
And the Colonel, look at this. He's lining up.
Well, the Colonel's going to bet 60,000. Adam's quickly going to call him, though. He's going to take this pot down with 2 jacks. So good foresight by Adam to continue to call there, even when the king came up at the river. Well, Vince, these guys like to fire. The action is fast and aggressive, playing limit poker.
Usually on the World Poker Tour, we play no limit Texas Hold'em. Today, it's a limit game.
The change here is in how much you can bet at any one time. In limit poker, there is a set amount on the bet on each of the 4 rounds of betting. Before the flop and on the flop are the 2 lower limit betting rounds, and on the turn and the river card are the 2 larger limit betting rounds. We're going to see bets, raises, and re-raises, multi-way pots. That's what happens when you play limit poker.
You will not quite see the pondering and the acting jobs you usually see on the World Poker Tour. You're going to see something different. Speed poker. Here we go again. Richard Kane still manages a nice smile there. He has ace-3 of diamonds.
With such heartwarming crowd support.
And he makes it 60,000 to go.
Why not? Michael Grotz going out.
9x, huh?
Adam folding ace-4 of clubs.
Matthew quickly folds.
Now the Colonel with jack-3.
It's another beauty.
Doesn't want it.
Paul Darden in the big blind, meaning he's got 30,000 out there, calls 30,000 more with the 9-5 of hearts.
Got 9-5. Dolly Parton. He's sticking around. Let's see if it pays off for him. Here comes the flop.
Ooh, so far, yes.
Unbelievable.
Paul Darden has flopped 2 pair.
All checks.
Notice Richard's flopped the top pair.
Richard checks.
Oh, and the 3 comes off. The joker for Richard. Both players have 2 pair.
And Paul's going to bet his 2 pair.
You can't blame Paul for doing that.
Oh. Richard in a great place here. He's hit his 2 pair of aces and 3s.
Well, he's going to raise it and make it 120,000 to go.
Back into Paul.
What Paul's saying to himself was, is this guy trapping me? Could he have possibly had 2 aces here and made 3 aces?
Yes, he slows down there. He just calls it. No longer that proud. River card coming up.
It's the 6 of spade. Makes a potential flush and a potential straight out there, but action on Paul, and he's going to lead out with his 2 pair, bet 60,000.
Now Richard, let's see if he gets fancy with it. No, he's just going to make the call.
Well, he's just going to call. He's been beat around so much here tonight. He's going to take the conservative route, just call with the aces up, and they're going to be good.
What do you know? Richard Kane can win a pot.
A little bit of unfortune for Paul right there after flopping 2 pair to get out drawn on the turn like that. I think he lost the minimum he could lose after flopping 2 pair, Vince.
9-5, man. Oh, my God, the disrespect.
Well, Richard Kane, the 33-year-old from San Francisco, who started playing poker just 2 years ago, takes down his first pot.
Hubris may invite nemesis here, but my biggest fear is myself. And possibly capitulating under the glare of the lights, or if I go down a couple 100,000 to start, then maybe I just tighten up, and that's a recipe for failure in poker.
And Vince, his wife Erica is 4 months pregnant. She's on the ship with him.
What a story. Got a shot at $1.5 million. But action's going back on Matthew this time. Throws away Jack 5.
Round to the Colonel. He folds.
Paul folds. Back to our man Richard Kane, and he's got a whopper. The double ruler's pair of kings.
Well, he's got the big hand this time. Michael Grotz in the small blind looks at 7-8 of clubs. Suited connector. He calls a 60,000.
Adam going out. So two-way action. Big opportunity once again for Richard Kane.
Well, here comes the flop. Flop is 7-7 queen. Just a great flop for Michael Grotz here. And he leads right out with the 3 sevens, Vince.
The kid from North Carolina with the 3 sevens.
Notice Richard just calls with the 2 kings. You have to think 2 kings are good here.
Here comes the turn.
Well, the 6 of clubs comes off. Now Michael checks, so Richard's going to think he might have a diamond draw here even.
Or maybe he has a queen, so he's bet this.
And he's been raised, Vince. Michael Grotz's check raised him.
Re-raise.
And Richard's going to re-raise. You see the look on Michael's face right there. He's saying to himself, does this guy have queens fold? Did he really have a pair of queens in the hole? Let me just call him here.
This is a huge pot developing between these two. Richard believes that this guy wouldn't have bet on the flop with the 3 sevens, that he probably just has a queen. River card coming up.
Well, the river card's an ace. That's a card Richard's not going to be crazy about.
That could slow the action down here a little bit.
Michael's going to lead out and bet 60,000. Richard's going to call him. And Richard is not going to like this. And right now, Vince, the Hurricane Man has got to feel like he's in the eye of the storm, no doubt about that.
He's been downgraded to a tropical storm.
Nice.
That was a tough hand to lose. 2 kings he started with. Just a powerful poker hand. Michael flopped 3 sevens. Catching good, playing well. That's a tough combination to beat.
Fast action on the cruise. We're coming right back. Stay with us on the World Poker Tour.
My style's going to be pretty aggressive. Hopefully I will keep that up. Staying aggressive is how I got here, and I'm going to dance with the girl that brung me.
My parents are not at all happy about me being a poker player. So my father offered me $6,000 not to come this week, which I declined, and it's worked out.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. I'm Vince Van Patten with Mike Sexton. We are cruising along. 6 players remain.
And right now, the new chip leader is the 24-year-old phenom out of Raleigh, North Carolina, Michael Grotz. So far, everything going his way and nothing going the way of Richard Kane.
Well, Richard Kane short stacked, throws away Jack 8 of diamonds. Michael Grotz going out. And now it's on Adam Shalani with 10 deuce.
Raise.
Doyle Brunson hand. He's going to raise with this. Matthew going out.
Well, the Colonel looks down at a very nice hand, ace queen of hearts.
We're going to re-raise.
He's going to 3-bet it. Make it 120,000 to go.
Yes, he is. Stiff raise there. Paul Darden with 7-6 of diamonds. Paul out. Now it's back to the kid.
Well, Adam's going to call with a 10 deuce. Adam trying to make something happen here with just a 10 deuce.
You got nothing again?
Absolutely. I usually re-raise with nothing. I've done it.
Oh, a dream flop for the Colonel. He's flopped the top pair and the nut flush draw.
Right behind him, the kid is going to make the call.
Obviously, his intent is to try to steal this pot later on.
You get any of that?
Nope.
Good.
Well, he caught a little piece of it. He's got one of the deuces.
That is my card.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll bet it for you.
The Colonel's going to bet.
Right.
But Adam is going to raise him here, Vince.
Adam's trying to make a play on the Colonel.
Well, quickly, the Colonel calls the raise.
Can't push this tough Colonel out.
The Colonel far in front. He's got 2 aces with the nut flush draw.
River card coming up.
Huge pot, nearly 700,000 in there right now.
Oh,
it's another deuce.
What a disastrous card for the Colonel. He's checked it.
Adam bets. The Colonel's not going to like it when he sees Adam's hand here.
You guys are going to love this one.
Well, Doyle Brunson will be proud of that kid on this hand, Vince. But that's about the only one. Well, I'll tell you one thing. That will shake up the Colonel, Vince.
Start playing taps here for the Colonel.
Gee, many Christmas. What a bad beat. That was ugly.
Whoa, nice hand.
Just an incredible suck out by the youngster from Minnesota.
A good short stack player is a lucky player, and I consider myself pretty lucky, so hopefully it'll work out.
Double up, baby! That's right. Get in there. Everybody call.
I think my odds are quite horrible for winning today, but I'm pulling for me.
Even a blind squirrel can get lucky every now and again.
The poker gods looking down on him tonight. You could fry an egg on the Colonel's head right now.
You just got to think that he wishes he was a drill sergeant right now and Adam was in his platoon.
All right, the private war has started. Back on the Colonel, David Minto. This time he's got a big hand, pair of jacks wired.
We'll try again. Well, I hope you don't have any deuces this time.
Well, he's going to try again, he says. You can't blame him with 2 jacks.
That's the attitude, Colonel. Paul Darden quickly out. Richard Kane going out. Michael Grotz, the chip leader.
And you bet into me.
Throws away jack 4.
It was clear I had a deuce.
The Colonel hoping this guy comes into the pot, but Adam folds. Matthew with the queen 9 of spade in the big blind.
Look who's finally emerging. Welcome to the game, Matthew.
Here comes the flop. Well, flop comes queen 10-9. Matthew has flopped 2 pair.
And he quickly checked it.
The Colonel has flopped an open-end straight draw with his 2 jacks.
Bets it.
And Matthew quickly calls him. Right now, Matthew out in front. Colonel's going to need some help, and he gets it right here on the turn. He's made it straight, but Matthew's going to lead right out and bet with the 2 pair.
He's going to try to find out where he is with his hand.
Well, you see what's going to happen to him. He's getting raised right now by the Colonel. Colonel makes it 160,000. Now, Matthew probably figuring the Colonel has a straight here. Does he want to call and try to make his full house?
Love to send this kid back to the barracks.
No, Matthew's going to lay it down.
Does so.
Wow. He was trying to scare me there for a second.
Pretty nice lay down by Matthew.
It's good for the game.
Excellent lay down. So it is forward march right now for the Colonel. Back on track.
He's known as the Colonel, and tonight David Minto is going to battle at the poker table.
I retired from the Air Force as a lieutenant colonel about 8 years ago, and went back to work for the Air Force as an engineer. We actually put rockets behind vehicles, shoot them down a rail to test everything from warheads to ejection seats. We currently hold the world land speed record of 6,453 miles per hour for a ground vehicle. That's right at Mach 9.
The Colonel may love the fast lane, but prefers to slow things down at the poker table.
I've just got to sit back and be patient and wait.
Oh, here you go.
And wait until I can really punish them. We've got a 22, a 23, a 24-year-old, so I'm going to have to tell them to respect their elders.
That's what impresses me about these players is how intelligent they really are. I mean, we've got 3 college guys out there, very smart guys. The Colonel's an engineer.
Well, they got to be smart. I mean, they're taking all the money on the ship.
They're the smartest ones here this week, that's for sure. And what money at stake? $7.4 million in this tournament.
All right, action back on Richard Kane. He's short stacked now. He has king 9 of clubs. Got to get aggressive. Michael Grotz, 10-6 in his hand.
He's giving us odds.
Goes out.
Adam folds.
Matthew, of course, goes out with 8-7.
The Colonel lays it down.
And now it's on Paul Darden, and Paul has got the ladies, the Hilton sisters, the Gabors.
Well, he's loving it. He's going to try to get Richard's money here, no doubt about it. He pops it up.
But Richard's going to be stubborn. He's going to call this.
Richard in dire straits here. On the verge of being the 6th place finisher. Here comes a flop. Oh, a great flop for Richard. He's flopped top pair. He's got the kings.
Oh, that is beautiful for him so far.
Paul's going to bet the 2 queens.
And Richard?
Well, you just can't imagine he's not going to put them all in right here.
And he does so.
Paul sensing he flopped a king, not liking it, but still, you got to put your money in there with 2 queens. So our first all-in situation.
Double up, Hurricane.
He knows he's well out in front right now. Will Richard Kane stay alive?
So Hurricane Kane all in with all his chips, but he's out in front with the kings. But this has not been his night so far. He's got to beat Paul Darden's queens. We're coming right back. Stay with us on the World Poker Tour.
to the World Poker Tour, where Richard the Hurricane Kane is trying to stay afloat. Will his two kings hold up against Paul Darden's queens, or will the truth be too much to take?
Right now, Richard Kane all in, but he's out in front. He has two kings. Paul Darden with two queens. Richard needs to win this pot to stay alive. Can he do it?
Well, he has been jinxed all night. Here comes the turn card.
The deuce of diamonds comes on the turn.
That's good for Richard. Still out in front with his kings.
Paul Darden is going to have to catch a lady. He must catch a queen to win this pot.
The PR guy from California got to sweat out one more card.
Richard all smiles right now, and why not?
He's done it.
He's double up to stay alive.
Oh, boy. Fist in the air. Gets back at his old rival, Paul Darden there.
Well, he hadn't had much go his way so far. He got very lucky there to win that pot and stay alive.
The sting of necessity was bearing down on me hard.
I'm a watch.
Paul Darden's thinking, geez, I finally pick up a big hand and I get outdrawn here.
The Hurricane back in full force.
Well, action's going to be on Adam here. Yeah, he looks down at two deuces.
Try this again.
He loves deuces. We saw that earlier, and he's going to raise it with him.
Matthew right behind him with a pair of fives, throws it away. Very tight. Now the Colonel's got king 9. He goes out. Paul Darden looking down at a 10-4.
Throws it away.
Now we look at Richard Kane. This time he's got king 4.
He's going to fold, and Michael Gratz in the big blind with a pair of threes. He's going to call here.
So we got deuces versus threes.
Two young guns going at it here. Here comes a flop. Oh, Adam has flopped 3 of a kind here.
Oh, just tremendous for him.
Action is on Michael.
Michael Gratz going to make the initial bet.
40,000 here. Adam quickly raising, making it 80,000 with 3 of a kind.
Not going to play it slow. Limit poker, you got to be a little more obvious.
Look at this. Instead of throwing his hand away, Michael Gratz 3-betting it here, trying to make something happen. It's not going to work because Adam has flopped the set.
Huge pot developing right now.
Oh, Michael heading for big trouble here.
Here comes the turn card.
Oh, trouble no more for Michael.
Oh, no.
He now has 3 threes. He leads out in bets.
The kid from North Carolina.
There's also 3 diamonds on the board, so that's going to be a little scary. Adam just opts to call on the turn with the 3 deuces.
No doubt about it, especially when he was re-raised.
Here comes the river card. It's an ace.
Back on Michael.
And he's going to check here, Vince. And quickly, Adam's going to bet 3 of a kind. And look at this. It's going to be a check raise by Michael.
Yeah, he's going to get an extra bet out of this.
Well, he quickly gets paid off by Adam. And Adam is going to be sick when he sees this hand because he's going to know that he was outdrawn on the turn.
And it is a massive pot.
I can beat nothing.
Shows the hand.
Well, the 3 deuces paying dividends for Adam earlier when it came deuce-deuce and he won the pot. This time he flopped 3 deuces, Vince. It came back to haunt him.
I guess he's better at reading the deck than I am.
Boy, the kid from North Carolina, originally out of Poland, is going to extend his lead with that.
My name is Michael Gratz. Play poker for a living. Right now, there's no better profession for a 24-year-old kid. Fly around the country playing poker in prestigious casinos and on cruise ships. You can't beat that.
Michael Gratz is on the move. This youngster from North Carolina is spitting tobacco in these guys' faces right now.
Back to the table. The Colonel, David Minto, out of New Mexico.
Oh, I'm first. I better pay attention.
You got to love this guy, Vince. Always got a smile on his face.
He's just happy to be out of the brig. He throws away 10-6.
Paul, not too happy at the moment, throws his hand away.
Now Richard Kane with ace-deuce has raised this. Michael Gratz out. Now Adam, pair of 9s, made the call. And Matthew coming in with 6-7.
He's in the big blind. He's going to call it, so we got 3-way action here. Well, again, Adam fails to 3-bet with a pair. Let's see if it'll cost him. Here comes a flop. A flop is 3-3 deuce. Adam with the 2 9s leads out in bets.
Matthew quickly folding. Back into Richard Kane. He's got a little piece of that, the pair of deuces.
He's going to call it.
So 2-way action, turn card coming up. Adam and Richard.
And the 7 comes off on the turn.
Adam bets once again.
Race.
And Mr. Aggression, Richard Kane, going to pop it up here with the 2 deuces.
Going to try to make a play here, but Adams called it.
Well, he's going to call because he has the overpair.
Can't shake this guy loose.
Off we go to the river card. Well, it's a jack. Adam checks the 9s. Richard wisely checks right behind him. And Adam is going to pick this pot up with 9s and 3s.
The Hurricane downgraded to a slight drizzle. He's pushing hard, and when you play that way and the cards are just not coming your way, you go broke fast.
Well, Vince, there's no question. Texas Hold'em is America's favorite game, whether limit or no limit.
Well, you're right, Mike, and you know, they may appear to be the same to the outsider, but Shauna Hyatt is going to show us that there are special nuances to limit Hold'em in this week's Poker Corner.
In No Limit Hold'em, you can use brute force by pushing all your chips in at any time. But in Limit Hold'em, it takes a little more patience and a lot more finesse.
These guns are loaded, baby. Watch out.
You need a lot more patience.
It's my turn now.
Showing some patience, knowing when to lay a hand down. You know, don't get married to a hand.
Patience may be key in Limit Hold'em, but you still need good cards.
You need to be concerned with your starting hands, number one, because you're not going to be able to get people off hands as easily as you would in no limit.
Try calling that.
That's because Limit players love seeing the flop.
No limit, you have to play a lot more carefully. This, you can fool around a little bit more.
Chasing is the name of the game. Poker's played with 7 cards, and you got to make your best 5-card hand, so you need to see as many cards as possible.
The secret of winning Limit Hold'em is a lot of luck and a lot of skill. Last year, beating Daniel was all skill, but technically you do need some luck.
Well, that's the great thing about this event is that they pay 180 places.
Yeah.
Of course, the top 2 places are going to be millionaires.
Action's going to be on Adam this time with a pair of 7s. Going to raise it up. Matthew going out with King Jack.
Round to the Colonel. He lays it down.
Paul Darden going out now. Richard Kane with Ace Queen of Spades.
Well, he's got a big hand. He's on the short stack.
Brick wall.
Going to try to make something happen here. 3 bets it with the Ace Queen of Spade. Michael gets out.
This could be a nice spot for Richard Kane.
And Adam's going to call him with the 2 7s.
So 2-way action. Richard Kane versus Adam Shaloni.
280,000 in the pot right now. Here comes a flop. A flop is Jack 4 deuce with 2 clubs.
Not good for Richard, but nevertheless, he's going to bet it.
Yep, he's not slowing down. He bets 40,000.
Adam quickly calls it. Richard's on the short stack. Money becoming an issue right now. Here's the turn.
Well, the 3 of clubs comes off. Putting 3 clubs out there doesn't slow Richard down. He's just determined to go all in, looks like to me, with this hand.
16.
Adam, he's going to call it.
Well, Adam's got 2 7s and the flush draw. He says, if you can beat this hand, good luck to you.
Richard with just a few chips left. River card, he needs some luck.
Well, the 6 of hearts comes off.
Oh, he did not get the luck.
Well, he's not going to save that last 60,000. He bets it. Adam calls it. And that's going to do it for Richard Kane. He's going to be out in 6th place. The 2 7s standing up here. Just nothing seemingly going right for Richard tonight.
The Hurricane finally fizzling out.
I can't even win a race against a brick wall. Good job, man. Play well.
But you know what? Don't walk the plank just yet, Richard. You picked up $200,000.
In the meantime, we are down to 5 players. Who's going to take home the title and $1.5 million tonight? Stay tuned. We'll be back with more exciting action from the Party Poker Million.
Don't jump ship just yet. Find out who's on their way to making $1 million when we come back to Cruise in Mexico here on the World Poker Tour.
We've done more than 80 poker cruises. This is our biggest one ever by far. We found that poker and cruising is just a perfect mix because you can wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and find a game and you're only an elevator away.
Check.
These cruise ships are a blast. You can hang out on the deck, you can sunbathe by the pool all day, and then you go into Mazatlan. So it's just a blast.
I'm having a great time. So if I win anything in this tournament, I look at it as a bonus because I just came to have fun.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We are down to 5 players.
And right now, our chip leader is the 24-year-old phenom from Raleigh, North Carolina, Michael Grotz.
Paul Darden is the short stack. He's down to about 400,000.
Well, the price of poker really going up now. Blinds are $30,000 and $60,000. That means we're now playing $60,000 and $120,000 limit.
It is time to gamble on the cruise. Down to 5 players.
A lot of chips in play, remember, though. Over $7.4 million on the table.
All right, action is going to be on Michael Grotz. This time he's got a big hand. He's got big slick, ace-king.
He makes it $120,000 to go.
But right behind him, Adam Shalani with a little wide pair of threes.
3 bets.
And he's going to 3-bet it this time. Makes it $180,000 to go.
Matthew out. Now the Colonel with Jack 8.
Well, it's $180,000 to go now for the rest of these guys.
The Colonel going out.
Paul lays it down.
Back on Michael Grotz, and he's going to re-raise it.
Well, he's going to raise it. He's going to cap it, as we say. In this tournament, you're allowed 1 bet and 3 raise maximum.
Adam quickly calls it. That's the first time tonight we've seen 4 bets.
$570,000 in the pot, and we haven't even got to the flop.
Ace king versus pair of threes. Big pot developing. Here's the flop.
Ooh, Adam has flopped 3 of a kind, and here comes Michael.
Oh, man. Rave song's going off in Adam's head right now as he just calls it, though.
Yep. So Michael bets $60,000, gets called by Adam. Gonna raise him on another street, I guess.
Here comes the turn.
Well, the 8 of spade comes off. Now this gives Michael the nut flush draw, and he's gonna bet it $120,000.
Adam, I'm a little surprised here. He's just gonna call it. He's not gonna raise it with a 3 of a kind.
Well, I'm shocked he doesn't raise it there, Vince. Man, 4 bets before the flop. You just put him on a big pair.
And the river card comes up a queen of clubs. Michael's checked it. Now finally Adam making a bet.
Well, the pot's so big, Michael's going to pay him off here. And Adam is going to win a monster pot here, over $1 million pot.
Adam shows us pocket trades.
That is a big pot, but I think he could have got a little more aggressive on the turn. Make this guy pay a little bit more.
Well, you're right, Vince. I'm shocked that he didn't raise it either on the flop, especially on the turn.
Busting up the chip leader there a little bit.
Well, you're not kidding. That put a dent in his stack for sure.
And look at the crowd. They're chanting their buddy.
Those came back to bite you, I guess.
Well, Adam picking up a nice pot right there. Over $1.1 million in that pot.
And don't forget, Adam came in as the short stack with only $360,000. He is running up to over $2 million. The dream is very much alive here.
Action's going to be on Michael Grotz. He folds.
Back on the Wonder Kid, Adam. He has king 6 of diamonds. Yes, he's going to raise it again.
He's feeling good right now. Makes it $120,000 to go.
Matthew going out. David Minto, the Colonel.
He lays it down. Round to Paul Darden. He's in the big blind, meaning he's got $60,000 out there. He looks a queen 5 of diamonds.
Oh, man, and he is short stacked now.
He's calling the raise, Vance, just hoping he can get lucky and catch a flop. Yeah, flop comes 9-8-3 with 2 spades. No help at all for Paul. He checks.
Adam with king high is going to bet and makes Paul go away. And it's just getting uglier and uglier for Paul Darden.
Just in a downward spiral. Nothing happening for him right now.
But Adam just building up his stack, taking control.
Can't hit a flop.
So with that last debacle, Paul Darden is truly circling the drain right now.
Yep. Paul was just hoping somehow to catch a rush and get back in the hunt here.
Back to the action. Matthew going out. The Colonel.
Oh, my golly, another beauty.
Jack 4 in his hand, not interested.
Well, this could do it. Paul's got 2 7s here. He's going to move all in for his last $70,000.
He is going to bump it up into Michael Grotz. Small blind has a Jack 10.
He's going to call 40,000 more.
I don't suppose there's much I can fold here.
Well, it's 10,000 more to Adam. He flips it out there as well.
He's got
holding
king 9.
King 9.
Well, you're only getting 20 to 1. It's like a slot machine, man. You get 20 to 1.
Let's see what happens here.
Oh, look at this. Paul has hit 3 of a kind.
Yep, Paul's flopped 3 7s here. Now notice Michael's flopped top pair. Comes out betting. and is getting raised by second pair by Adam. Now, normally you don't see this kind of betting going on when a player's all in. Remember, if he goes out, you move up $200,000 in real money.
Side pot developing between Michael and Adam. Paul's got to sweat this out. Oh, no, it's an 8. What a disaster for Paul Darden unless he fills up on the river.
Michael Gratz has made a straight here. He has got to be feeling good. He comes out betting $120,000.
But over the top, Adam.
Well, I'm amazed at this play, Vince. He's betting $240,000 when there's an open-end straight on the board and a player all in.
Trying to make some type of bluff, it seems like.
Now, would you think that Michael would bet out if he didn't have a straight in that spot? A peculiar raise by Adam here, in my opinion.
Well, Michael's called us. We're going to see a river. This could be the demise of Paul Darden.
Paul must pair the board to stay alive. He doesn't do it. A queen comes off. So Michael's saying, even if the guy had Jack Queen, at least I have him tied now.
Well, that's going to do it for Paul Darden. But in the meantime, Michael Gratz with a huge side pot.
Yep.
That's again.
Adam finally lays it down here. Michael shows a straight, and poor Paul Darden
I had to sit.
flopped a set and is out. And that's typical of his night tonight, Vince. He flopped a set on the last hand. He got outdrawn by a gut shot straight draw. That's going to do it for the World Poker Tour champion.
A great gentleman. They call him the Truth. Has to walk away. Our 5th place finisher.
Well, the crowd giving Paul a nice standing ovation. You love to see that. And Paul's got to say, well, just wasn't my night, you know. Last hand of the night, you flop 3 of a kind and you get beat.
Was this card day? You can't do nothing about it. Every situation, I try to make a play. I couldn't hit a flop. When I had a big pair, I still couldn't hit a flop, so it was poker.
Great effort. Paul has to say goodbye. We're down to 4 on the cruise. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more on the World Poker Tour.